My name is Helen Duhome. I'm a police constable within the Avon and Somerset Constabulary. I'm currently a mounted officer based at Bower Ashton at the Mounted Department. We have 12 horses at the moment, and traditionally they always have to be bay, which is basically a colour of brown in the horsey terminology. Other horses don't do that. They'll have different coloured horses. Also they have different sexes of horses, whereas in Avon and Somerset we only have castrated males, and that's traditional. We've always done that. So I think we're a very professional looking mounted department and very uniform also. We all look the same on our brown horses. Each officer is actually allocated their own individual police horse, which 9 times out of 10 you will be riding every day and looking after. Unless your horse is injured or you're on annual leave, then someone else might ride your horse for you. So generally I'll come in, I'll muck my horse out. I'm allocated about half an hour a day to groom my horse. So I'm responsible for that horse's turnout, and then I do all my patrols. So you do get used to that horse. You learn all their little quirks, things they do and don't like. Some of our horses nibble a little bit, so you know, when members of the public come and approach us, you have to sort of warn them they might get nibbled. Generally it's always a friendly kind of nibble. So yeah, you do get a bit of a bond with your horse, and you're quite protective of your horse if any of the other officers sort of say something bad about them or something. We just don't get to take them home at the end of the day. When we look for a new police horse, they have to obviously be bay, which we've just talked about. So they have to be brown, they have to be gelded, and they have to have a certain presence to them, so they have to be quite big. We couldn't ride around on little Shetland ponies. I don't think it would have quite the same effect at the football. So our horses have to be at least 17 hands, so they range here between the heights of 17 and 18 hands height. It just makes it a little bit more difficult for people to pull us off of them, and it's temperament. So they've got to have the right colour, the right sex, the right sort of stamp of horse, so kind of a chunky looking horse, but also they've got to have that temperament. The training involved in police horses is an ongoing thing, so they initially come to us on a trial when we purchase them for about 4 to 6 weeks, and during that time we would take them into different environments, so out on patrol in quieter areas initially. We wouldn't take them down to a football match, you know, for quite a period of time, just to see what they're like with traffic and things. We do work with them in the school with what we call nuisances, so things like drums playing, loud music, getting them to walk on sort of sheets or mattresses, so they've got different feelings of things under their feet, all these different sort of circumstances. They get to go through fire, but it's all built very gradually. We've got some horses here that don't like things on the ground, yet you know, take them into a crowd of screaming people and they're absolutely fine, but a little crisp packet rustles by on the floor and they'll spin round and run in the other direction. So yeah, they're all totally different. So when our horses retire, we like them to go to horse sanctuaries, because basically they can have a holiday. They've done, you know, 10-15 years of hard grafting as a police horse. We don't want them going somewhere else where they're going to be, you know, used too much. So we use Horse World and Devon Horse Sanctuary. There's 12 mounted sections in the whole of the UK. I personally feel that there should be more, because I am a mounted officer and I see how beneficial we are to the communities and in public order situations. I just think you can't have too many horses. Unfortunately, policing evolves and different people's views on how we should police changes, and horses have been, you know, put to the side a little bit. They've just recently done a review by Oxford University about actually how beneficial police horses are. They've done a study on the amount of people that would come and talk to a mounted officer compared to an officer on foot, and it's hundreds of times more people come to a mounted officer. So for me that's really beneficial. With the face of the police, we're approachable, we're brilliant in public order situations, we can help, you know, support communities. I think we're a really precious resource to the police. So yes, more of us please.